Hi, I'm Ms. Kim of Ms. Kim's Bling Bar. And if you want $1,000 worth of free credit card processing for your paparazzi business, stay tuned and click the link in the video description. Hello ladies, today's tutorial is going to be on how to use your Square card reader once you've actually set up your banking information and you're ready to start accepting payments. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find Square right here. And this is the way it's going to appear. It should be similar, or if not the same, on a iPhone. And if you want to accept a payment, actually I already have a sale here, so let me just clear that out. Clear sale. Okay, now it's at 0. So you're going to tap keypad up at the top left. Always make sure that it's on keypad so that in case it comes up under library or favorites, you'll have keypad set up there. And you know it's the keypad because you'll see the numbers. Okay, so let's say you had someone to purchase $25 of jewelry from you. You do not have to put a decimal point. Decimal points are not available on this system. You just have to make sure that it looks right at the top once you key it in. And then, once you're done there, you can click on Review Sale. It says custom amount, $25, add discount. Okay, we're not interested in adding a discount. If you end up making a mistake on this, you can always tap the 3 dots at the top right and then tap on Clear Sale, as you saw me do earlier. Okay, so we're not going to clear the sale. And I'm going to tap the charge $25, the blue button at the bottom. Now, you'll see right up underneath the amount, connect a reader to swipe, insert, or tap. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and connect my reader right now so you can see what it looks like when it comes up on the screen. And you actually connect your reader in the auxiliary jack or the headphone jack on your phone. Once you've actually installed the reader, it may come up and say enable settings if you haven't already done so. Now, in order to enable the settings for your microphone, you're going to have to tap on enable in settings. And it should take you to the app info for Square point of sale. And do you see where it says permissions? If you tap on permissions, then it will show you which permissions are already enabled as well as which permissions are disabled or not available at this time. Okay, the notifications and everything else is not what we're looking for right now. And as you can see, the microphone is not enabled. Everything else at the top, the 3 items are. So we're not going to worry about anything but enabling the microphone. Tap on that and then allow only while using the app. Okay? Then you can go ahead when you're finished and tap that left arrow. And then you can see that now the microphone is enabled. See, that's in the list at the top now, and the other 2 are not. And just so that you'll know, down at the bottom, the option is available to as a default that if you're not using this app in a couple of months, to actually disable out of the permissions. Okay, so in case you ever get to the point where it's saying enable it or something's wrong and it's not working, go ahead and check your app permissions and make sure that they're allowed again. So we're going to tap back with the left arrow, and then we're going to go ahead and tap it again, and you can see that we're at the area where you can pay. And all you have to do is swipe to pay. Now, if you're testing out your Square app, you might want to put $1 instead of $25 or something like that, because it might take the payment as soon as you swipe. So we don't want that. If we do $1, it doesn't matter. It may even ask you to sign, especially if it's the default to have the person doing the transaction to sign, and that keeps you safe if you have the person sign. So that's really the only thing that we have to be concerned about here, and the numbers should come up, and it should give you the information that the person needs for them to sign and make sure that the transaction is correct. The other items on here that you can look at is for today's purposes is the manual credit card entry. When you do the manual credit card entry, that's in case the reader didn't work or you're having trouble with it. But the only thing you have to do with the card, the debit or the credit card, is you need to make sure that the black strip on the back of the card is facing the lowest part of the square reader. And then you want to start from the edge of the card and you want to swipe across. If that doesn't seem to work, you can turn the card, make sure the black stripe is down, and try it again, okay, until you get it. Do not start in the middle. Always start at the edge of the card. Keep it down on the card reader and swipe across, okay? And then you shouldn't have any problems with that card. If you do have problems, you want to use the manual card key entry. And the only thing that you will have to do there is tap in the numbers that you see on the credit card. And, if it asks you for the month and date, month and year, actually, and the security code, you can do that. There is an extra upcharge to use this, and it tells you in writing underneath what that is before you submit the manual entry. Okay? The other thing that we see on here is the invoice. You can actually invoice a person and send that to them via email. That's useful if you're selling something direct to a person, but if you're selling something online that they want and they don't have access to it, you haven't delivered it to them, you can actually send them the invoice like that, and then they can make the payment and you can go from there. The next thing that we have is the Cash App, and that's the QR code After you've put in the amount, you can have the person scan your QR code, and that gives them a link on how to pay as well. Okay, so Square is very versatile, and it's something that you should keep in your wallet or in a special place so that you'll have it when you're out with your jewelry, with your bling bag, or if you're out at an event. You definitely need to keep that with you. So what we're going to do is we're going to look back, and we're going to go ahead and start looking back at the actual place where you can key in everything, or the keypad. And there's a place here that you can actually go in and put your taxes, because if you notice, I didn't have that. So if you go into your uh, go into that menu at the bottom, that 3-bar menu, and then scroll down to settings, and then go to checkout. Okay, so when you go to checkout, you're going to see here that it has taxes. That's what we're interested in looking at today. Right now it said 0. No, they don't have anything set up, so I'm going to create a tax profile. Everything that is the default is already enabled. The only thing that you need to change here is the percentage of the tax. Down toward the bottom, it gives you an option of how to add your taxes, either add it on to the item or have it actually taxed within. The top one is preferable. Okay, so you want to add the tax to the item. Once you tap the 0, you can actually put in the percentage, your local. You don't put in somebody else's tax percentage. You put in your tax where your business is located locally. Okay, even if you're in another area, you put in yours because that's what you have paid when you purchased your jewelry. Okay, once you're done with all of that, you just go ahead and save it, and you can see that it saved it as sales tax, and mine was 8.125%. Okay, then if you go back, it shows that it's still off. Okay, don't let that fool you. Let's just go back one more time, excuse me, because it just didn't take on the information, and that fools some people. Now, if you go back into checkout, and you'll see that it says 1 active. Okay, and then if we tap on that 1 active under taxes, it shows you the tax rate. Okay, now we can go back, and the best way to do it, if you want to get back to the keypad, you can always tap on the checkout at the bottom. We're just going to do the arrow on. By the way, you can have different tax profiles. So we're just going to do the arrow like I did here. And then we're going to do the arrow again. And now we're back to settings, and we don't see an arrow. You could press the arrow at the bottom, but that'll take you more than likely out of the app. So the best thing to do to actually do a mock transaction is to go ahead and tap the checkout button at the bottom left. And that takes you back to your keypad. So let's go ahead, and we're going to tap in a transaction. So let's go with $25 again, and then we're going to review sale. Now watch what happens when we review sale. Now the tax has been calculated and added. Okay, and then you can tap on the blue button that says charge that amount. You can add a discount if you like, but we're just going to stick with this. And then you see it says swipe to pay under the amount. That's because the reader is already connected. Okay? And then you just go about the same business of swiping the card. Remember, make sure the black strip is down toward the bottom of the reader, and make sure you start the swipe from the edge of the card. If it doesn't work that way, you can turn the card around and then make sure the black stripe is still down toward the bottom of the reader, and then you swipe again from the edge, making sure that you keep contact and pressure to the bottom of the reader, and then you just slide it through, or swipe it through, as they say. Okay, and that's the bottom line. It's very simple, very easy. All you have to do is practice a few times,